Hey, welcome to the Roadkill Goldfish takeout menu, the place where we talk about culture, common sense, and other controversies with a sense of humor and a moral compass. I'm Kim Keller, your host, and today I want to share with you a message that I got to share with a bunch of really awesome moms at a MOPS meeting in North Texas. Now, for those of you who don't know what MOPS is, it stands for Mothers of Preschoolers, and many communities have these through their churches. It's a place where you can go and hang out with other moms, and there's childcare, so you can bring your little ones and just enjoy some time away from them. You know they're going to be safe and taken care of, and they have great seminars, and it's just great fellowship to know that you're not going through this mom thing by yourself. Now, let me tell you a little bit you need to know a little bit of background before I launch into the presentation. I survived 2 preschoolers, and I'm now raising a tween and a teenager. In my spare time, I'm also a public relations consultant and a college instructor, as well as a blogger. But I'm also a mom who likes to brag about developmental milestones. Now, I'm not one of those super competitive moms who's going to look at your 18-month-old little girl and say, her first word was dada? Oh, bless your heart. My precious Clementine Grace's first word was mommy dear. Nah, not one of them. And I'm not the kind of mom who's going to cringe when your 36-month-old son runs full speed through the living room just so he can bounce off the couch sofas and tell you, maybe you should look into getting some educational toys. My hunter started using my iPad last week, and he's already learned all his colors, shapes, and conversational Japanese. Oh, don't you want to see your kid bounce Hunter and that iPad off your coffee table? No, I'm the kind of mom that's going to look at you and your kids and say, I am so proud of her. She's only 360 months old, but she's already mastered behavioral psychology and multitasking. Watch her. Watch how she's able to balance that checkbook, plan dinner, call the babysitter for Friday night, and teach phone etiquette lesson to that 4-year-old who's singing Let It Go at the top of her lungs. And she does it all during a 45-second bathroom break. Ladies, you are warrior mamas, and I salute you. Congratulations on achieving this incredible developmental milestone. Now, the thing about milestones is that everybody reaches them at their own pace. You're going to reach other important milestones during parenting, such as the I'm going to have a word with that bully's parent moment, and the hey, mister, quit yelling at my kid about his t-ball skills moment, and the I guess it's time to let him use the public restroom on his own. But I'm standing right outside this door and talking to him the whole time moment. And if you haven't already, you're going to have the no, this is not okay developmental milestone. So I was a bit behind on this milestone, and I hit it at the age of 528 months old. I'll let you do the math. See, all mamas hit the preliminary no milestone early on, usually during our kids' infancy. And frankly, a lot of us are really surprised that no was not our children's first word. Allow me to share some examples that I've used during my 15 years of motherhood. No biting. Very important when you're breastfeeding and the child develops teeth. No, that's hot. No cookies before dinner. No, you are not riding the schnauzer. No, you are not wearing that to school. And why do I say no so often? Because I love you. But the no, this is not okay milestone is different. It develops in response to today's culture. Some examples. Moms get embarrassed turning on the car radio when the kids are in the car because nearly every station is playing music with sexually charged lyrics, and no one really wants their 5-year-old to sing along with a Jay-Z song. No, this is not okay. And then moms also get angry when supposedly kid-friendly networks like Disney and Nickelodeon celebrate kids' bad behavior on their television shows and make all adults look like ignorant fools. No, this is not okay either. And moms, even the ones that really like shopping, cringe at taking their daughters to the mall because everything on the rack is designed to make them look, as my grandmother used to say, like floozies. No, this is not okay. But as you've already discovered, our culture is okay with all of these things. As a matter of fact, it celebrates and promotes them. And mamas who stand up against them are quickly labeled with hateful words like frigid, repressed, outdated, or crazy. Why the hateful labels? Because moms who say, no, this is not okay, can and do change the world. I may be dating myself, but I've seen 2 examples of moms change the world in my lifetime. Used to be that drunk driving was a crime that really wasn't punished. Everyone felt like, oh, people do it all the time. There's no reason to punish anybody. Everybody does it. But it was a group of mamas, warrior mamas, that got tired of judges taking this attitude. And they founded Mothers Against Drunk Driving, which led to our nation's strict driving under the influence laws and penalties, and has possibly saved countless lives. And it was also warrior mamas that created today's music rating system that is used to prevent minors from buying explicit and profane music. These are the labels that you see on CDs and such with the explicit language warnings. Those didn't exist prior to the early 80s. See, my warrior mama milestone came on August 26th of this year. My 13-year-old daughter and my 10-year-old son were getting ready for the first day of school, and I'm a news junkie, so the news was running in the background. Kids look up from their Cheerios and they see Miley Cyrus's lewd performance from the prior night's Video Music Awards. Oh boy, talk about a new this is not okay moment. Actually, it was kind of more of a what moment in our household. My kids were shocked and grossed out, but we talked about what they saw on the way to school and why it was not okay. I came home, prayed, and felt led to write a blog post that addressed why our daughters don't have to behave like the Mileys of the world to get attention or feel valued. Apparently, quite a few other folks felt the same way, because within about 36 hours, more than 2.9 million people came to my website to read the piece. And I got messages from parents all over the world thanking me for taking a stand. The best or the most heartbreaking part was I also got adoption requests from teenage girls whose parents didn't care enough to say, no, this is not okay, and I'm going to protect you. Of course, no good deed goes unpunished. And I also got hate mail and threats from individuals who blasted me for repressing my 13-year-old's sexuality. One man, I assume it was a man, went as far as to say that my daughter was having sex with the entire football team and I wasn't aware of it. And my response was simply, oh my goodness, that explains why she doesn't have time to clean her room. See, I had absolutely no control over this situation or how it played out. But God did. He gave me those initial words to write. When I was afraid, He protected me from those who wanted to harm me. When reporters and critics tried to make me look like an idiot, He gave me the words and demeanor to say what needed to be said. And when I was tired and worried, He gave me comfort, strength, and peace. He also gave me a ministry that continues today. Now, I share this with you because I want to outline how God helps us reach developmental milestones, not so much for us, but for His glory. He used just an ordinary mom with OCD who sometimes, often yells at her kids in Walmart to share His message of, no, world, this is not okay. I have something better for you. He always has something better than what the world has to offer, and He can and does use ordinary moms like us to share it with others. Today's culture will tell you that the Bible and Christianity as a whole oppress women and make them weak. They're subservient and vulnerable. No, I don't think so. The Bible and our faith are filled with warrior mamas. Every mother here today is a warrior mama. All right, so let's take a look at Mary, the mother of Jesus, and that woman in Proverbs 31. Yeah, granted, these women set the bar pretty high for the rest of us. Like we can see in Proverbs 31, verse 15. She gets up before dawn to prepare breakfast for her household. Yeah, doesn't happen at my house either. But you know, Scripture has 4 of the favorite warrior mamas who had the courage to say, no, this is not okay. And they changed the world. Now, forgive my pronunciation of ancient Hebrew names, but Shiphrah and Puah were Hebrew midwives when the Israelites were enslaved by the Egyptians. They were the women that delivered the babies. The conditions in Egypt were pretty harsh, but their Israelite population continued to grow. So the Egyptians made things harder in hopes that it would slow down the baby boom, but Shiphrah and Puah were very busy delivering even more babies. Well, this freaked the Egyptians out even more, and they started to grow worried that the Hebrews would get too strong and get too numerous. So Pharaoh ordered Shiphrah and Puah to kill all the baby boys as soon as they were delivered. Now, this is not okay. You see, these women feared God and did not follow Pharaoh's orders. The babies kept coming, and Pharaoh questioned them again about the growing pile of diapers outside. And the women responded, you know, the Hebrew women aren't like those Egyptian women. They're more vigorous, and they have those babies so quickly we can't get there in time. You know, I kind of imagine Pharaoh viewing this like we view a baby being born on television today. The water breaks, and the woman pushes for about 2 minutes. There's a little bit of screaming, and voila! Out emerges this 14-pound 3-month-old infant from the womb. So Pharaoh decided he was going to up the stakes. He then ordered his people to throw every newborn Hebrew boy into the Nile River. And you know what? They said, yeah, this is okay. But there was one more warrior mama named Jochebed who said, no, this is not okay. She and her family hid their newborn son for 3 months, which is pretty amazing